Welcome, my cunning linguists, my linguistic love bunnies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm in downtown Sarajevo. There's this crazy cafe slash museum called Cafe Tito, which apparently, I think there was a dictator here in Yugoslavia, basically a communist dictator. And so it's a communisti cafe, which is pretty cool. Mi smo Titovi. But in this video, I just want to briefly discuss point number three in the Language Lovers Manifesto. Principle number 3, speak your language with abandon. Speak your language with abandon. And what that means is use it or lose it, basically. What I have found in my own journey of learning 3 foreign languages is that it was only when I really spoke it and heard it and had these conversational back and forths, started to create memories in it, real life memories. That was when the language wired. There's a difference between, just learning academically, that can flutter away. But when you've used language in the real world, it wires permanently. And you hear things and you go, bang, that phrase is going to stick in my mind now. The reason for this, neurologically, in terms of your grey matter, your brain, communication is extremely important. It's high priority. Okay, it's what separates human beings from all other animals, is we can communicate on a very sophisticated level. Language is what allows us to do that. And so this is high priority. Looking at symbols on a page, yes, you can remember it, but it's lower priority for the brain. So as soon as, man, it's -5 out here. It's cold. As soon as you start having the conversations, you start having the back and forth, bang, it's going to wire in the brain. Trust me, this is what happens. So, speak your language recklessly. Why recklessly? One of the things that holds people back from this process of actually wiring it properly is they're just too shy. They're just too shy, maybe too shy in general, but they're just too shy to actually use the language. They're too ashamed, they're too embarrassed. Look, it's just not going to get you anywhere. It's just not going to get you anywhere. Just be reckless, go and make mistakes, even have people laugh at you. It's character building, right? I had it when I first moved to Spain. I had it when I first was speaking Portuguese 6 or 7 years ago. It's character building, right? It's character building. So you've got to be reckless. You've got to be reckless. And what I found was, it was interesting, I mentioned this in a previous video, with Spanish, I was contemporary to other learners. And what I found was I overtook them. At a certain point. And that point was when the rubber meets the road. Are we actually going to go out and speak it or not? And I did. And they basically, I think fairly obviously didn't. And yeah, but I spoke it a lot. I immersed myself as much as I could in the social, like social learning. Okay, humans are the social animal. So, and that was the same with Portuguese, the same with French. It was all 3, transferring all the academic knowledge, all the verbs, all the grammar, all the vocab. It only wired properly once I actually got out there in the field and used it in the real world. So yeah, that's principle number 3 in the Language Lovers Manifesto. And actually, as it happens, I'm at my 3-month anniversary with the Serbo-Croat language, which linguistically I believe is the same as the Bosnian language, or at least very similar. So I think all the countries, according to one of my viewers, I think they all, for example, say, oh, this language is Bosnian, this language is Montenegrin, this language is Serbian, this language is Croatian. But I think the languages are either the same or very similar. From what I can tell anyway, in Bosnia, I actually can't really tell much of a difference. But obviously I don't know anything at this point, so my opinion is just like very cursory. So I'm at the 3-month anniversary with this, and what are my impressions? What are my impressions of this mistress, this sultry mistress? It's not as beautiful a language as the Romance languages, in my experience, in my opinion. It does have beauty to it though. It does have beauty to it. It's a kind of muscular. I can see there's sophistication in the grammar, but there's something almost barbaric about the pronunciation. Sorry if this offends people, but there just is. You know, like Tuesday, utorak. Come on, like French lundi. You know, it's a different sound, but I think it suits the region well. I say that as I admire that. I admire that barbarism. You know what I'm saying. And all the K's and J's and things, it's a little bit crazy. So, yeah, and I've got to make my decision. Am I going to continue on pursuing this language? I've actually got to make a decision. I've got to make the decision today. I think I will certainly stay friends with it. In fact, I'll make the decision right now. I'll stay friends with it, but I'm not going to commit. I'm not going to commit because, for this reason, there's not enough of an external motivator for me to commit. I love this region. It's fucking awesome to visit and spend a few months here and learn bits and pieces, but it's not enough for me to go, man, like I've lived in the Spanish-speaking world for years of my life. That's a different level of romance. I need that level, and it needs to be external. It needs to be external. So for me, it's a sort of, hey, we'll stay friends, you're awesome, but I'm not going to commit like I did with the others.